Welcome back to the Ed Show. It's day 2 of CPAC, the annual gathering for conservatives in Washington, D.C. Mitt Romney got his big chance to prove himself to a hardcore conservative crowd today.
We conservatives believe in freedom and free people and free enterprises. I know conservatism because I have lived conservatism. On my watch, we fought hard and prevented Massachusetts from becoming the Las Vegas of gay marriage. I was a severely conservative Republican governor.
Romney talked the talk, but Rick Santorum says he's the real conservative in the race.
We always talk about, how are we going to get the moderates? Why would an undecided voter vote for a candidate of a party who the party's not excited about? We need conservatives now to rally for a conservative, to go into November, to excite the conservative base, to pull with that excitement moderate voters, and to defeat Barack Obama in the fall.
So which one is the true conservative? Almost half of all Republican voters, well, they don't seem to care. A Fox News poll asked Republicans if they want a different candidate to get the nomination. 49% said yes. I'm joined tonight by Howard Fineman, NBC News political analyst and editorial director of the Huffington Post Media Group. Well, Howard, I learned a new one tonight. It's called severely conservative. I mean, does he get A for effort on trying to turn their minds around on whether he's conservative or not, Mitt Romney?
Well, he gets A for chutzpah. It didn't go over too well in the hall. But I actually thought this entire speech itself was his best effort to sell himself to this crowd. But, of course, the way I'm putting it, sell himself to this crowd, summarizes his problem. Newt Gingrich and especially Rick Santorum are the kind of people who, you know, as kids would have been at CPAC when they were in college, and they would have been there all through their formative years and their growing up. Mitt Romney said in his speech, and I give him credit for saying it, he said, look, when I was a kid, I didn't know who Edmund Burke was. Or Burke or Hayek, who's the Austrian economist that all the conservatives worship. Romney said, I would have thought they were playing for the Detroit Tigers. That line didn't go over well either.
Yeah.
So he's selling to a crowd that doesn't believe in him, whereas Newt Gingrich and especially Rick Santorum, the body language, the spirit in the room was entirely different. It was more a conversation among friends than was the Mitt Romney speech, even though they worked on it for days and days and days.
How impressive is this, and how politically smart is that picture right there that Rick Santorum has his family up on stage with him? I mean, this crowd is all about social values and social issues. They've been talking about them all week long. Was this a good move, and is this going to give Santorum the momentum, the boost that he really needs to go to Michigan and Arizona on February 28th?
Well, he understands the symbolism and the kind of mood music of CPAC. And yes, CPAC, which wasn't always so focused on social issues the way it is right now, this was perfect symbolism for that crowd. Yes, having all the wife and the kids up there throughout the whole speech, and having them nodding and listening and sounding like they were listening to it for the first time and agreeing with their dad.
Yeah.
That looks corny, but believe me, in the hall it went over big.
The Washington Examiner reported on a closed-door meeting between Mitt Romney and conservative leaders yesterday, and Romney was told to lay off of Santorum. What can you tell us about this? What are you hearing?
Well, I think right now that what everybody is saying, and it's really summarized in a way by that amazing Fox poll that you showed the results of there, is that conservatives and especially don't like the tone of the campaign. They don't like the nastiness. They don't like the attack politics. They don't like the tone that, in fact, Romney and Newt Gingrich set in Florida. And whether they're supporting Santorum or not, and a lot of them are, they also like the fact that Santorum, by and large, has tried to run tonally a more positive campaign.
So,
and that's
Howard,
what they like.
Do you think Romney is going to go after Santorum now that he's polling better nationally right now? Is he going to go after Santorum the way he went after Newt down in Florida? Is that coming?
Personally, and in his own speeches, he won't. But the so-called independent PACs are going to tear into him big time. They have no choice. The people who are supporting Romney have no choice. That's the way he's campaigned, and that's the way he'll have to continue to campaign, because Mitt Romney he did a better job today than he had, but he still hasn't explained why he's the conservative Republican choice.
Yeah.
He has a hard time making the case. He just does, even though some of the numbers he cited about his time in Massachusetts are, if not convincing, are pretty plausible. He did cut spending, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But it sounds like a little too little and a little too late in his career and in his thinking to convince people like the people at CPAC.
Howard Fineman, great to have you with us on this Friday evening. Thanks so much.